right, we're working on a Cadillac today, and you can see we've got a backing plate here with some parking brake shoes, and this is the adjuster for the parking brake shoes. Now, there is no external adjustment on these things, so you can't back the shoes off until you take the disc off, which is stupid because you get a nice rust lip that builds up on the inside, and then you can't get the disc off, so you end up having to smash it off there, and it rips the pins out of the backing plate and destroys the shoes. Then you have to replace all this stuff. So we're gonna try something today. I was thinking, well, what if we just drill a hole through here and then we can just go in with a screwdriver and adjust it, you know, like a hole that it probably should have, just like how Toyota does it. And we're gonna try that. So let's drill a hole. Okay, so we drilled a hole in the disc, and I don't know if you can see in there the parking brake adjuster. Okay, this is the adjuster that's inside of there. Okay, we got a little star wheel, and by adjusting it, you can see this would spread the shoes apart. By going this way, we bring the shoes together. And we've got it adjusted all the way down as far as we can go. Hopefully that helps us get this thing off of here. We did the other side and it was not nice to do. So now we're going to take everything off. 13 millimeter bolts, I believe, for our brake caliper, and 18 millimeter bolts for the bracket. So let me grab a wrench, we'll get taking it off. So going this way with the wheel, that brings the shoes together, and going this way puts the shoes outwards.
And only do this if you're replacing the disc.
Only, yeah. Do not drill a hole in the disc and then reuse the disc. Don't do that. It's 14 mils in the back? That's messed up. Hey, I lied to you. GM's using 14 millimeter bolts for their calipers back here. You buzz those out. Set them to the side. Pull your brake caliper off. And then we're going to clean this thing up. You can see how crusty it is, all these chunks of rust and stuff that are in there. We'll tidy that up. And we've got to compress this back. So I got a couple tools, I'll show you how to do that. And then I'll hang this thing up. We can now do this. So 2 18 millimeter bolts for our bracket. You just pull this thing off. Snap this off. All right, a T30 set screw for the disc that holds it to the hub. I'm using an impact driver. If you haven't seen one of these, you put any kind of bit you want on there, and you set it to the reverse side. Hammer it, it drives in and turns at the same time to prevent this from stripping, and it's a lifesaver. Way better than a screwdriver. And the disc should just come right off. Just kidding. All right, we're just gonna give this a couple whacks. Sweet. Okay, that was a lot better than the other side. The other side was pretty bound up, so we're lucky that that side actually came off not too bad. But most of the time, it's going to just bite the back of these shoes, and it's going to pull and pull and pull, and then it just ends up ripping the shoes off. I can see like the shoe lining is already starting to separate down here from rust. The rust just gets in underneath of these shoes. The shoes are glued on, by the way, and the rust just destroys everything. So if that does happen, then you end up having to replace the shoes, the hardware, and you got to take the backing plate off to change the hardware, the pins. It's so stupid. They have everything all set up. You got your backing plate, pins go through, and then they bolt that whole assembly to the wheel, the knuckle, and you can't get the pins out until you take that off. And to do that, then you got to get the wheel bearing out, and the wheel bearing gets seized in there, so you destroy that. Try and take it out. Just a pain in the ass. So, okay, next thing we got to do is clean the face of this and get ready for our new disc to go on. Also, if you want to at this time, you can try to clean all this rust scale up. And I've got a needle descaler that just has a bunch of needles, and it'll take all this rust off, no problem. All right, for your new disc, you just want to wash it off with some brake cleaner or parts cleaner just to get that oil off. They put oil on these things just to keep it from rusting when they're sitting on the shelf. And then all we've got to do is line up this hole with the hole on the hub, and then we can put our set screw in there. So I had changed a wheel bearing on this thing, and we just completely destroyed the parking brakes to get the bearing out. So normally you would just have parking brakes in there, and you would set them so that they're all the way in, put the new disc on. I guess you can't adjust them because there's no hole, so you would just set them so that they're pretty close, put them on, make sure that the shoes aren't rubbing against the disc. And then you just put the disc on and continue right now. Okay, then we just tighten this set screw. All right, we knocked those out. Those should just like fall out of there, by the way, but as you can see, all this rust that's built up on here builds up underneath the clips, and that pushes the clips in against the pads. It constricts the pads and keeps them from moving, and that's why they wear out like that so badly, is that when you put your foot on the brake pedal, it jams them into the disc, and then when you let off, they're stuck against the disc and they drag and they prematurely wear out. They put a lot of heat into your brake rotors. Also, they put a lot of heat in your wheel bearings, and they'll cook your wheel bearings. So brake service, very important. Anyways, we just pull these clips off. They just get pressed on. And then what I'm gonna do now, we'll check these pins. These should move freely, just like that. But you can see all the rust that's built up around here. And what happens is, once the seal is compromised between the pin and the rubber and the bracket, then rust will work its way inside. Well, moisture works its way inside, and it creates rust, which then seizes your pins. And that's another problem, is if the pin is seized, it's only going to use the inside brake pad to slow you down, and the outside brake pad just becomes disabled basically, as the caliper can no longer float. So it's important that these pins are free. I'm going to wipe them off, re-grease them, and I'm also going to service this caliper bracket. I'm going to use a needle descaler and knock all the rust scale off in these contact areas where the clips go in. Also, I'm going to use a wire wheel to clean up around this area here where that rubber seals against the caliper bore. And I'm also going to clean the ends of the pins around here where the rubber seals against that, and we'll grease everything. We'll get our new clips installed, then we can get it on. All right, so we got most of the rust scale off where the clips sit, and I also pulled the rubbers off and did like kind of around here. Now I'm gonna go in the wire wheel and sort of really fine tune it. So you want it to look pretty much like that, nice and clean. And then for here, we're just gonna pretty much just go around. And you wanna have it looking all like this, nice and clean once again. You could use like some parts cleaner, brake cleaner, and just wash out the bore where the pins are. Hopefully your pins aren't seized. If they are, you may have to apply a little bit of heat. You could just buy a new brake caliper. But yeah, apply a little bit of heat on here to get it to let go, and then wire wheel this pin clean up wire wheel all in around here where the rubber seals, and then use a silicone based grease. Don't use any petroleum based grease like penetrating oil or anti-seize or anything like that, because it will cause the rubber to swell. And if the rubber swells up, then you lose a seal around here, and then moisture gets in and rust starts and it seizes. So pretty important to use silicone based grease only for these pins. Underneath of the clips though, we're going to use anti-seize. And yeah, let me just get these cleaned up and I'll get these pins greased up. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting some silicone based lubricant around this edge here where the rubber is going to seal. And then I'll just put some on the pin itself. And slide that in and out. Make sure that moves nice and freely, which it does. Then I'm going to put a little bit on here where the rubber seals against the bore. Just pop this rubber on there, spin it around a little bit. There we go. Put some grease just all around that pin to try to keep it from rusting. Then we do the same to the other side. And once you get the other side done, then you're just going to go ahead, grab yourself your clips, put some silver anti-seize across the surface where the clip is going to sit. Take your clip, lay it in there, and it should just pop into place. Do the same for the other side. So now you're just going to set the bracket in here, get your bolts started, and we'll tighten those down and torque them. All right, 81 foot-pounds on the 18mm caliber bracket bolts. And then we got to put our pads in there. All right, we got a little bit of anti-seize here that came with our brake pads, so we're just going to put that on the ends of the brake pad where they contact the clips. We're using A premium brake pads. Now, we want to put the squealer tab, that's this tab right here, on the inside. And you should just be able to try to line these up. And the brake pads should just sit in there, like that. And then now we've got to push our brake caliper back. So I'm just going to go grab the tool to show you how to do that. Oh, wait, hold on. All right, this is a caliper pushback tool, and this one's actually a pneumatic one. But you can see here, you pull the trigger, and it comes out. There's little magnets on the end that really suck, and they don't even hold the pieces on, but that's okay. Okay, now we can just slide this on here like so. You don't have to use that tool that I just showed you. You could use like big channel lock pliers if you have them. Some guys use C-clamps. If you're lucky, you can push back by hand. You could also just stick it in here like this and use a screwdriver. All right, we're gonna torque these caliper bolts down to 44 foot-pounds. And if they spin, you're gonna have to use a wrench or some vice grips or something to hold it. Your slider pins, if you want to hold them with a wrench, are going to be 17mm. Okay, and now we just need to put the wheel on. I think we're almost done. In the back of this wheel, this mating surface, seeing as we have a new disc and everything, corrosion will build up on these aluminum wheels and rust on steel wheels. But it's pretty important to make sure that you have a clean face before we install this onto the vehicle. right, get all your wheel nuts started, and then you're going to tighten them down in a 6-star pattern to 140 foot-pounds. Do 2 passes of that, and then I recommend after 60 miles or 100 kilometers of driving to do a wheel retorque and just ensure that all the wheel nuts are properly tight and the wheel is seated correctly. And that's pretty much it on how to remove and replace the rear brakes on your 2013 Cadillac SRX. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. If you liked the video, found it helpful, give us a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.